Good day, everyone. Today we're going to look at the use of cognitive levels of Barrett and Bloom's taxonomies. It's meant for the English home language and first additional language. It's presented by yours truly, Cynthia Job, and compiled by Thirion. Why Barrett and Bloom? According to the CAPS document, all assessments must be set according to the Barrett, Reading and Literature, and Bloom language learning levels. Its purpose is to set a balanced assessment that allows for a variety of question types. Provision is made for the diversity of learners in a class. The models are used to classify different learning objectives based on their degree of difficulty. Principles. Barrett's taxonomy is used for Afrikaans and English in literature, comprehension, tests, and visual texts. For language learning, we use Bloom's taxonomy. Make provision for the diversity of learners in the class. Papers for grade 10 and 11 are set similarly to the matric papers. Barrett's taxonomy, English home language and first additional language. Cognitive levels, Barrett's taxonomy. Starting at the bottom, level 1, literal understanding. Level 1 and 2 is 40%. Level 2, reorganization. Level 3, conclusion. Level 3 equals 40% of the paper. Levels 4, evaluation of content. Level 5, appreciation. Levels 4 and 5 equal 20%. Barrett's taxonomy, level 1, literal, 20% of questions. The facts are clearly stated in the text. Who, what, where, when, and why. Examples. Make a list of. Describe the person. What should the? Narrate the incident when. Name the style figure. Barrett's taxonomy, level 2, reorganization, 20% of questions. The facts are also in the text, but the learner must reorganize the information. Classify, analyze, arrange information or events, briefly explain, gather information, define, give a summary of the main events, tell the story in your own words, give the similarities or differences, group, for example, in a table. Barrett's taxonomy, level 3, derivation, 40% of questions. Respond to information that is implied and not directly in the text. Type of questions. What does the title or the cover of the book refer to? What is the theme, lesson, message, main idea? Multiple choice questions. Fact or opinion. Denotative or cognitive use of language, literal and figurative. What does the simile, metaphor, symbol or word mean? What character traits or attitudes does the character reveal through his words and actions? Compare two characters to each other. Explain the cause or effect of. What do you think will happen if? Barrett's taxonomy, level 4, evaluation. 20% of questions in level 4 and 5 combined. Give your own opinion or judgment about what happens in the text. Type of questions. Are the characters' actions convincing, realistic, or believable? Explain why the argument is valid. Why is the main character a good role model for teenagers? Discuss the character's attitude or actions. Do you think stereotyping in this text is justified? How would you have acted in the same situation? How do you feel about the poem, story, or drama? Name the feeling and motivation. What is your opinion of? Remember, learners must make a choice, yes or no, and then motivate it. Only 1 mark is given for the motivation. Barrett's taxonomy, Level 5, appreciation. 20% of questions in level 4 and 5 combined. The questions focus on the learner's emotional response to the content, identification with characters, and reactions to the author's use of language. Type of questions. Discuss your reaction to the text, conflict, or dilemma. Do you have sympathy for the main character? Motivate your answer. What would you do if you were in the same situation? What advice would you give the main character? Comment on the use of language in the text. Explain how humor is used in the situation. What we have on this slide are the concepts that are tested at the different levels. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you would like to study this, we will also send you a hard copy of what is needed. At the end of this program, you can leave us your address and we can forward it to you. Here we have an example of an African folk tale, The Leopard Man. I'm not going to read it through to you, but you may return to this and read it at your own time. It is just an example of how a poem or a folk tale is read and then questions are asked about it. Take note of the questions we are going to ask now. Examples of questions about the story according to Barrett's taxonomy. Level 1. Literal meaning. What did the man do when he visited the village? What did the young woman of the village wish for? What did the man ask the girl who followed him into the forest? Level 2. Reorganization. Summarize the events in the folk tale in 2 sentences. Quote a phrase from the 4th paragraph that contains a warning. Explain how the man changed form. Level 3. Application. What is the theme of the folk tale? How do we know that the girl put herself in danger? Is the following statement a fact or an opinion? The leopard was disappointed that it could not get its prey. Is the following statement true or false? If it is false, give a reason for your answer. The leopard man, once he has changed form, could control himself not to eat the girl. Examples of questions about the story according to Barrett's taxonomy. Level 4. Evaluation. Do you think the man should have kept quiet about who he really was? Motivate your answer. What lesson do you think can be learned from this folk tale? Did you like the story? Motivate your answer. Level 5, appreciation. Do you have sympathy for the girl? Motivate your answer. What would you do if you were in love with someone, but he or she does not want your attention? Bloom's taxonomy, English home language and first additional language. Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is used in the assessment of language learning. There are 6 levels. It concentrates on how knowledge is presented in language teaching. This ensures that assessments are fair. Bloom's taxonomy, and we start at the bottom. Remember, recall facts and basic concepts. Define, duplicate, list, memorize, repeat, state. Second level, understand. Explain ideas or concepts. Classify, describe, discuss, explain, identify, locate, recognize, report, select, translate. The third level is apply. Use information in new situation. Execute, implement, solve, use, demonstrate, interpret, operate, schedule, and sketch. The next level is analyze. Draw connections among ideas. Differentiate, organize, relate, compare, contrast, distinguish, examine, experiment, question, and test. Next level, evaluate. Justify a stand or decision. Appraise, argue, defend, judge, select, support, value, critique, weigh. The final one is create. Produce new or original work. Design, assemble, construct, conjecture, develop, formulate, author, or investigate. Bloom's taxonomy, level 1, memory. Different types of information are remembered and recalled. Facts, basic concepts, ideas. At this first level, it is not necessary to understand what these ideas mean, but only to remember them. The level of recall is the easiest to achieve. Verbs, describe, tell, say, find, name. Bloom's taxonomy, level 2, comprehension. Comprehension. Learners must be able to recall the information as well as know its meaning. Ideas are compared with each other and concepts are interpreted. Verbs, discuss, explain, and predict. Bloom's taxonomy, level 3, application. Learners memorize knowledge to use to solve problems in new situations. Applying memorized principles and facts leads to understanding. Verbs, use, illustrate, complete, solve, rewrite, and explain. Bloom's taxonomy, level 4, analysis. Analysis. The memorized information is used to find relationships between different components of information and to make inferences and predictions. 3 components of information are analyzed: the elements, the organization, and the relationship between them. Verbs, identify, compare, explain, and categorize. Bloom's taxonomy, phase 5, evaluation. Evaluate. Ideas and their validity are assessed. The method that led to the solution is explained. The evaluation can be done on the basis of evidence in the text or external criteria such as personal taste. Verbs, decide, prioritize, assess, and justify. Bloom's taxonomy, phase 6, synthesis. Synthesis. The question focuses on the learner's emotional response to the content, identification and characters and reactions to the author's use of language. Types of questions. Discuss your reaction to the text, conflict, or dilemma. Do you sympathize with the character? What would you do if you were in the same situation? What advice would you give in this situation? Comment on the use of language in the text. Bloom's taxonomy, example, language questions. Level 1, knowledge. What do we call the figure of speech found in line 2? Give a synonym for road in line 6. Level 2, understanding. The man with the old shoes greeted kindly when he got here. Expand the underlined sentence in the following sentence to an adverbial clause. Form a verb from the stem word of kindly. Level 3, application. What does the expression mean, money does not grow on trees? Quote an example of stereotyping from the advertisement. Level 4, analyze. Use the homonym of the word pair as a verb in your own sentence. Explain what is the difference between a compound and a complex sentence. Level 5, evaluation. Evaluate the use of emotive language in the advertisement. What is your opinion about the advertisement? Level 6, synthesis. Write 2 sentences in which you give the author of the ad tips on how to make it more efficient. Bloom's taxonomy and Barrett's taxonomy are compared here. Number 1, knowledge and literal understanding. Number 2, understanding and reorganization. 3, application and derivation, conclusion. 4. Analysis, evaluation, rating of content. 5. Evaluation and appreciation. And 6. Synthesis. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you have learned something new. As you can see, we've got quite a team of people involved here, and we provide support materials for teachers and homeschool facilitators. Our materials consist of workbooks, study guides, revision materials, assessment tasks, and audiovisual material. If you want to contact us at any time, our contact details are on the screen. We are ready there to help you.